photos of extraterrestrials after the intro. Hello everyone, I'm Edison Boaventura. Welcome to our channel. And today I'm bringing you a somewhat controversial video. I'm going to show you 4 photos of supposed extraterrestrials, right? Or crew members of unidentified flying objects. And one of these cases is quite interesting because along with the photo being taken, there was also an abduction. That's right, that's what you're hearing. So without further ado, let's get to these cases. The first case involves a photo of an alleged extraterrestrial alien, a crew member of an unidentified flying object. We don't really know what this creature is, right? Because some say, oh, it's an alien. It could be a ghost. It could be Bigfoot, right? Some cryptozoological animal. We don't know what it is. The first photo was taken by the grandfather of someone who didn't want to be identified. And she sent the photo to a channel called UFO Casebook, right? And this happened on August 14th, 2003, when this anonymous witness sent this photograph to that group that shares things about ufology. And the case, he said it was his grandfather who sent that photograph. He supposedly took this photo in Alaska, right? So the event happened in Alaska, a very beautiful area, right? Full of pine trees, right? With vegetation ice as well, a very remote area. And according to the grandson, right, who received this photo from his grandfather, it would have happened in 1930. And he writes to this channel as follows, open quotes, I know it looks like an alien or a Bigfoot, and I know my grandfather was telling me the truth about him taking that picture. And that's why I think it should be in the right hands. You're the only one I'm sending this to, so please respect my privacy and don't contact me about this. I mean, the person put an end to it and doesn't want to be identified. And it says that her grandfather, the story is that he saw this being for the first time while he was walking towards a lake. And then he ended up chasing this creature until he got close enough to take a picture of this strange creature. Well, so let's see this photograph. Although we can't really say it's an alien, it's definitely some kind of strange creature. But its appearance is very similar to the type described in some unidentified flying object cases. Since it's an old photo from the 1930s, it's hard to say anything for sure. There's also no report or information that any kind of analysis was done on this photograph. But it would be one of the oldest photographs of a being there, something strange, right? What did you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments later. The second case happened in England on December 1st, 1987, with a witness there who also didn't want to be identified. At the time, she identified herself to the researchers, to the people who even analyzed the photograph. And she was even abducted during the experience she had in a region called Wilclay Moor, which is in West Yorkshire, England. So what happened there with a retired ex-police officer whose name was given? A pseudonym, Philip Spencer, right? So Philip Spencer, he was there walking through those mountains. This place is really remote, and actually, it's a place where you can find some archaeological remains. There are some petroglyphs, some very unique paintings on the rocks. And there are drawings like this on these rocks made by the primitives. They show some shapes that even remind us from time to time. Some flying saucer, for example, a long cigar-shaped craft. And there are some other more oval-shaped drawings, right? but it's not known if the archaeological evidence from this region is related to this fact. But let's get back to the point here. So Spencer, right, this former police officer, he was walking there. According to his account, he saw this creature and took a photograph, and he also saw an unidentified flying object at the time. When this photograph reached the hands of researchers, for example, one of the researchers was Bruce Maccabee. Bruce Maccabee. He is well known in ufology for analyzing photos and investigating several cases. And he was one of the researchers who had this photograph in his hands. Unfortunately, he said that because it was a very grainy photograph, it wasn't possible to make a perfect evaluation. But another researcher who also had contact with Spencer was Peter Hoax. And Peter Hoax, he analyzed it more thoroughly. He is quite skeptical about these things. And at first he was like, is it really? Is it not? Is Spencer telling the truth? So he decided to dig deeper. And then while the photograph was being analyzed and everything, Spencer started having some dreams with beings there, something, a spaceship and all. And then he decided, and then to do a regression hypnosis, which he agreed to. And then this hypnosis was performed by Jim Singleton, right? And other aspects of the story started to come up, right? I mean, it wasn't just that he walked over, saw the creature, and took a picture. Actually, he was abducted, taken aboard a ship there. He went through some experiences, and then the photograph actually was only at the end. When they had already dropped him off at the place right there, he saw the creature leaving, you know? So it wasn't just a contact he had at first, took the picture, and that was it. Specialists said there was no abduction, that's all. And then at the end of the abduction, that's when he took this photograph of that strange being. It's a shame that the photograph is so far away. It's really pixelated, right? So it becomes difficult, as Bruce Maccabee himself said, to do an accurate analysis. But this case from England is considered one of the most important cases, let's put it that way. It's among the 10 most persuasive cases known there in England involving unidentified flying object as abductions and even unidentified flying object photography. And of beings, right? In this case, a really strange being, and we can see there that it's a very strange creature. And skeptics at the time tried to say it was a hoax or something, but the analysis didn't reveal any kind of hoax. And there was like an attempt at an explanation by the skeptics saying that maybe he had put a painted piece of cardboard there, right? With this creature to simulate something. But what is known today is that, in fact, he experienced the situation, right? A real abduction. And the photograph has strong indications of really being an authentic fact. The third photograph then of a strange creature, it comes from Canada, right? It was taken on June 18, 2011 by a woman who was there with her daughters. She had 3 daughters. She was walking in Chalvaux Park in Quebec, right? It's in the city of Quebec in Canada. So she was there with her daughters, walking in this park. It's a park that's very popular with people. And she ended up taking several pictures of the place, right? Of the landscape, which she thought was really beautiful. When she got home after this walk in the park, in Chalvaux Park, she noticed a strange creature in one of the photographs. A humanoid being there, right? That's really weird. Looking at it, zooming in on this image, we can see that it's really something quite strange. It even looks like a gray, right? One of those gray aliens. Some of these humanoid beings, which from time to time are present in unidentified flying object cases. This photo was also analyzed and was deemed authentic. There's no sign of manipulation, right? No trickery, right? So was it really something that was in the photograph? Unfortunately, neither she nor her 3 daughters saw that creature at that moment. But the photographic record is there for you, the fourth photograph, right? The fourth case was an event, a photograph that went viral on the internet. Starting from around August, September of 2023, so it's pretty recent. The press itself, they aired some reports on television, right? Showing that photograph. So we have several reports released on the internet and on television showing that photograph, since it was apparently a very clear photo, right? And where was it taken? On the Pilcomayo River in Tarija, which is in Bolivia, right? So it's also a tourist area. There are a lot of tourists who go there to hike. And there's the Pilcomayo River, which is very beautiful. Some people go there to take photos because there's also a valley. There are some mountains. It's a very beautiful place. And then they tell right that they got this photograph. They took a picture of a person there. And in the background back there, on the banks of the Pilcomayo River, that's how it was recorded. That strange creature, right? As if it was walking there, right? This caused a lot of controversy. Many people commented, oh, that's fake, it's edited. Others say it's not authentic. There were even some Russians who took the image, the photograph, analyzed it, and even commented that it was authentic, right? But Eric Giavedoni is also a researcher. Just like other researchers, they found out that actually it wasn't a photograph of a being there, of an alien, right? Authentic. Actually, it was a fake created using a program that we have for cell phones. It comes with several stickers. So there are some alien beings there, you know, the gray type, and there are also some spaceships. So this mobile app allows you to add an alien creature to the image, to the photo you're taking, or a spaceship in the sky. So it's just for fun. It's a fun app, which unfortunately someone who didn't identify themselves, right? And released this photo, which ended up going viral. They put this photo out there and a lot of people started sharing it. In other words, they did a disservice to the study of the unidentified flying object phenomenon. Another interesting thing to point out is that the position the supposed alien was in the photo is the same as the sticker. From a little drawing we have in this cell phone app, if you take it and make a comparison, you'll see that it's the same creature, even in the same position, right? Even with the same gesture as it's walking. So honestly, that photograph that was released in 2023 is a fake, okay? So we have to be very careful. Why? Because photographs can be forged, they can be faked. And today with artificial intelligence, today, for example, with these little programs, it's possible to do something like that. And there you go. It's a swap, an edit made by artificial intelligence, right? Or even by digital programs that from time to time are unfortunately used to tarnish the image of ufology. So these 4 photographs are what I wanted to show you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button and leave your comments. And see you in the next video, live podcast with Edson Boventura.